Imagine if for a single second, a thought that no one saw had the power to change entire generations. The Bible is full of visible battles, but the decisions that truly change history, they happen in silence. Today you're going to step into one of those moments, the moment the sky observes, and the human heart chooses. And perhaps, without realizing it, this story is speaking directly to you. If this message touches your heart, please leave a like and subscribe. This helps this message reach people who also need to hear what you are about to discover. Because what we are about to reveal here, it's not just an old story. It's a mirror. The stage is set long before any visible action takes place. There is a type of battle that makes no noise. It raises no dust. It doesn't attract the attention of crowds. It happens in silence, in the invisible territory of the human heart. And it is precisely there that the deepest biblical stories begin to unfold. Before any decision is made, the atmosphere is already fraught with tension. External pressures are pushing from one side. Internal desires are pulling from the other. The character is surrounded by circumstances that seem ordinary, almost routine. But behind the normal appearance, something decisive is forming. The Bible repeatedly reveals that the moments that change destinies rarely arrive with announcement. They disguise themselves as ordinary days. The emotional landscape is heavy. There is expectation. There is weariness. There is a mixture of fear and hope that pulsates silently. The character carries memories of promises, recollections of past deliverances, echoes of divine words that still resonate in his mind. But he also carries doubts, fragilities, questions that have not been fully answered. And it is in this space between faith and uncertainty that the true battle begins. Nothing external has happened yet. No mistakes have been made. No victories have been celebrated. But the heart is already in motion. Thoughts begin to negotiate possibilities. Small concessions seem harmless. Subtle ideas whisper shortcuts. And it is here that the narrative gains depth, because the audience realizes that the most dangerous war is not fought with swords, but with almost imperceptible internal choices. The surrounding environment continues at its normal pace. People walk. Routines unfold. The world doesn't stop to announce that a destiny is about to be shaped. And that makes the moment even more powerful, because it reveals an uncomfortable and universal truth. The decisions that most impact life rarely happen under the spotlight. They are born in silent seconds, when no one is watching. The character feels the weight of this moment, even without being able to fully name it. There is a sense of an invisible crossroads, a premonition that something important is being decided internally. The heart races. The mind revisits learned principles. Values are tested. Convictions are weighed. And the sky seems to observe in respectful silence, allowing the choice to mature. This is the point where the story ceases to be just about an old character and begins to dangerously approach the viewer. Because everyone recognizes this territory. Everyone has been in that inner place where thoughts compete for direction, where small decisions seem isolated, but carry seeds of future consequences. The unseen reality reveals a constant spiritual law. Nothing grand happens suddenly. Every fall is preceded by discreet concessions. Every victory is built on silent loyalties. What happens inside always precedes what manifests outside. And understanding this changes how we perceive every seemingly ordinary moment of life. The tension grows not because of external action, but because the heart is about to take a stand. Something needs to be chosen. Something needs to be affirmed or denied. And even if the world doesn't realize it, this moment carries the potential to echo for years. The stage is set. The internal battle has been revealed. And what seems small now appears gigantic. Because it is here, in this invisible space, that destinies begin to be written. The moment of choice arrives without fanfare, but carries a weight that seems to suspend time. Everything slows down. The air becomes thick. The character is alone, facing a decision that no one can make for him. There are no echoing pieces of advice. There are no spectacular signs tearing across the sky. There's only silence. And within that silence, an intense confrontation between what is easy and what is right. The heart beats faster because it recognizes that this is no ordinary moment. It is a spiritual crossroads. Every thought becomes louder. Every emotion gains clarity. The character feels the pull of the simpler, more immediate path, the one that promises quick relief. At the same time, a deeper voice calls for something greater, something that demands courage, renunciation, and faith. This is the point where the sky seems to fall silent. And this silence is not absence. It is trust. It's as if God takes a step back to allow choice to reveal the true direction of the heart. There is no imposition. There is no force. Only freedom. And this freedom weighs heavily, because choosing means taking responsibility for what will come next. The internal conflict intensifies. Memories of old teachings emerge like intermittent lights. Remembered promises compete with immediate desires. The character feels the tension of two possible futures unfolding before him. One path seems comfortable, but carries hidden shadows. The other seems narrow, challenging, but pulsates with a peace difficult to explain. At that moment, time seems to stretch. Seconds become eternity. The character realizes he's not just deciding on an isolated action. He's defining a direction. He's answering a silent question that echoes within him. Who is he really when no one is watching? The world around remains indifferent. Life goes on, but within that heart, a storm is brewing. Fear whispers of potential losses. Faith responds with promises of purpose. The character feels the weight of knowing that every choice closes doors while opening others. And this awareness makes the moment almost sacred. There is an intense beauty in this internal struggle, because it reveals the dignity of human freedom. The character is not a spectator of his own story. He is an active participant. Every fiber of his being is involved in the decision, and heaven observes not with immediate judgment, but with loving expectation. The moment of choice is profoundly lonely. No one can go through it for you. Advice may have been given, paths may have been shown, but now it all comes down to a yes or a no that arises from the center of the heart. And that small inner sound has the power to reverberate throughout existence. The character takes a deep breath. He feels the weight and clarity of the moment. He realizes that avoiding a decision is also a form of deciding. And this realization eliminates any illusion of neutrality. Something needs to be stated. A direction needs to be chosen. This is where the story takes your breath away, because the audience recognizes this place. Everyone has faced moments when the outside world disappears, and only the naked truth of their own conscience remains. The instant of choice reveals character. It exposes priorities. It shows what truly governs the heart. And while the silence of the sky continues, not as abandonment, but as witness, the character understands that he is participating in something greater than himself. Every human decision engages with the eternal. Every choice shapes not only circumstances, but identity. The moment reaches its peak. There's no more postponing it. The heart inclines. The will takes its stand. And in that seemingly invisible second, a line is drawn between two futures. What happens next will be a consequence of that precise point, because it is in the silence of choice that destinies change direction. The consequences don't come quickly, but they come with precision. After the choice is made, silence returns for a moment. It seems that nothing has changed. The world keeps turning. The scenery remains the same. But beneath the surface, something has already begun to move. Like a stone thrown into calm waters, the decision creates ripples that spread far beyond the starting point. At first, the effects are subtle, almost imperceptible. Small changes of direction, discrete adjustments along the way. The character may not even immediately realize the depth of what has been unleashed, but time reveals it, and time is the great revealer of all choices. Each consequence carries its own emotional weight. If the decision was aligned with the truth, a quiet peace is born. It's not euphoria. It's something deeper, an inner firmness that sustains the next steps. Even when difficulties arise, there is a stability that doesn't depend on circumstances. The heart recognizes that it is walking in accordance with what it believes. But if the choice opened the door to error, the effect also manifests itself. First as a slight discomfort, an internal noise that is difficult to ignore. The character feels that something is out of place, and this feeling grows over time, because decisions do not remain isolated. They build patterns. They create paths that become increasingly easy to repeat. The consequences begin to affect other lives. Words spoken or unspoken alter relationships. Actions generate chain reactions. People around are affected by something that was born in a secret moment. And this is one of the most impactful truths of human existence. No one decides only for themselves. Every personal choice has a collective reach. The character begins to see the bigger picture taking shape. Situations align like pieces of a mosaic. What seemed like a small act reveals its true dimension. The future begins to take shape from that silent crossroads. And along with this realization comes a weight of responsibility, but also an opportunity for learning. If the agreement was reached, the consequences strengthen trust. The character realizes that loyalty bears fruit that matures over time. Unexpected doors open. New strengths emerge. There's a sense of partnership with something greater, as if each step confirms that the choice was a seed of life. If there was a mistake, the consequences also teach. Pain transforms into language. It shows limits. It reveals weaknesses that were previously hidden. And even in this scenario, there's a powerful possibility, redemption, because consequences are not just punishments. They are invitations to awareness, calls for realignment. The emotional impact deepens when the character understands that they are living according to their chosen path. There is no more abstraction. The decision now has a face, a voice, and weight. And this materialization transforms theory into experience. The heart matures. The vision expands. The character begins to understand that freedom always walks hand in hand with responsibility. The waves continue to spread. Some reach unexpected places. They influence stories that the character may never fully see. And this adds an almost sacred dimension to the concept of choice. Every human act participates in an invisible network of effects that transcend time. The public feels the intensity of this process because they recognize the pattern. Consequences are mirrors. They reflect past decisions with relentless honesty, but they also carry the potential for transformation. They don't exist merely to show what has been done. They exist to shape what is yet to come. In the end, the character realizes that they are being shaped by their experiences. The consequences are not merely external results. They are internal forces that refine character, broaden awareness, and redefine priorities. And as time continues its silent work, it becomes clear that no choice disappears. All become part of the invisible architecture that sustains destiny. The final revelation doesn't arrive as information. It arrives as a confrontation. After following the journey, the audience realizes that the story was never just about a distant character. It was always a silent mirror pointed inward. What happened there echoes here. What was decided in that narrative continues to be decided, in different versions, every day. The camera pulls away from a story and slowly approaches the heart of the viewer, because now the question is no longer what the character did. The question is what each person will do from here on out. There are choices waiting, conversations postponed, directions that need to be taken, and the same invisible crossroads continues to appear, disguised in ordinary routines. The revelation is simple and profound at the same time. No one lives on autopilot without paying a price. Each day carries small decisions that, added together, build entire destinies. To ignore this is to surrender one's own story to chance. To recognize this is to recover awareness of the power that exists in every moment. The viewer's heart begins to feel the weight of this truth. Personal memories emerge, moments when choices were made carelessly, opportunities that passed unnoticed. But along with this memory comes no condemnation. It comes an invitation. Because while there is breath, there is the possibility of redirection. History shows that no destiny is entirely rigid. Paths can be adjusted. Courses can be corrected. Awakened consciousness transforms the present into a turning point. And that is the emotional core of the revelation. The now is still alive. It is still a territory of decision. The viewer understands that they are not a prisoner of the past, but neither are they a spectator of their own future. There's responsibility, but there's also hope. Each new choice carries the potential for reconstruction. Each conscious step is a silent affirmation of purpose. The emotional atmosphere intensifies because the narrative ceases to be observation and transforms into a personal call. It's no longer about theory. It's about practice. About what will be done when the video ends and the silence returns. Because it is in this everyday silence that the true story continues to be written. The final revelation points to a truth that runs throughout the entire journey. The human heart is the terrain where destinies are born. Caring for this territory is the most urgent and most ignored task. Thoughts need to be examined. Intentions need to be aligned. Decisions need to be made with clarity. And then the ending approaches like an emotional tide that gathers everything that has been experienced. The whole story converges on a simple and powerful point. Each person carries within themselves the capacity to change the direction of their own life through conscious choices. It's not something distant. It's not reserved for extraordinary characters. It's human. It's immediate. It's possible. There's beauty in this responsibility. There's dignity in recognizing that each day offers a new crossroads, and in each one lies the chance to build something more genuine, more honest, more aligned with what the heart knows is right. Silence returns, but now it is not empty. It is laden with meaning. It is the space where the next decision will be made. And perhaps, right now, something within the viewer is reorganizing itself. A new clarity, a desire to act differently, a silent impulse toward a more conscious future. If this journey spoke to you, don't let it end here. Take this reflection into your day. And if this message touched something deep in your heart, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This helps this message reach other people who are also at silent crossroads, waiting for a sign to choose a new path. Because stories transform, but decisions transform even more. And the next one can start now.